A diplomatic rift began with the arrest of a U.S. consular staff member in Turkey. The two nations have suspended visa services for one another. The Turkish Foreign Ministry has summoned the U.S. Embassy's deputy chief in an escalating diplomatic row that has put both nations' visa services on ice. State-run news agency Anadolu reported that the Foreign Ministry planned to tell Philip Kosnit of the U.S. mission in Ankara that they expected the U.S. to lift its visa suspension, which affects all non-immigrant visa services in the country. The latest tit for tat between Ankara and Washington began last week when a staff member from the U.S. consulate in Istanbul was arrested. Washington responded with the visa freeze and Ankara responded by doing the same. With some exceptions, the move effectively blocks Turks from travel to the United States, and vice versa, indefinitely. Recent events have forced the United States government to reassess the commitment of the government of Turkey to the security of U.S. mission and personnel, a statement by the U.S. mission in Ankara said on Sunday. Hours after the U.S. announcement, Turkey issued an almost identical statement with the two countries' names reversed. U.S. Ambassador to Turkey John Bass elaborated on the decision in a video message posted to YouTube Monday, saying, "This was not a decision we took lightly, and it's a decision we took with great sadness." Bass expressed concerns over the treatment of the arrested employee, who he described as a Turkish staff member who works in an office devoted to strengthening law enforcement cooperation with Turkish authorities and ensuring the security of Americans and Turkish citizens. Citing news reports suggesting the arrest was related to the employee's communications with the Turkish government in his official capacity, Bass insisted speaking to and traveling with Turkish police was a part of his regular duties, and the Turkish government has not shared any information to indicate the employee was involved in any illegal activity. This arrest has raised questions about whether the goal of some officials is to disrupt the long-standing cooperation between Turkey and the United States. If true, this would put the people who work with and work at and visit our diplomatic facilities at risk. Bass said the U.S. hopes the suspension of visa services will not last long, but added, "At this time we can't predict how long it will take to resolve this matter." Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan on Monday called the decision by the U.S. to stop visa services very saddening. "It is sad that the U.S. Embassy in Ankara took this decision and started to apply it," he said during a news conference in Ukraine. He said that the Turkish Foreign Ministry has contacted its U.S. counterparts about the decision. "When my minister told me about it, I just said this: Turkey is a law state. First of all, we are not a tribe or a tribal state. Our embassy in Washington, D.C. should release a statement immediately, same as theirs, within the reciprocity principle. This is all about that." Another U.S. consular employee sought state media named Lakela hired Metin Topaz as the staff member arrested last week. He is the second U.S. consular staff member to be detained this year. Topaz was charged for having links with Turkish cleric Fethullah Gulen, who lives in exile in Pennsylvania. Gulen is considered the main adversary of Erdogan. The president blames the cleric for orchestrating an attempted military coup last year. Gulen has denied involvement in the coup. The Istanbul chief prosecutor's office said in a statement published by Anadolu on Monday that a third U.S. consular staff member was being sought for questioning. That staff member's wife and adult child have already been arrested over alleged connections to the Gulen movement, the statement said. Prosecutors said they were led to the pair after interrogating Topaz. Ankara has repeatedly pressured Washington to extradite Gulen since the coup, and the issue has become a major thorn in relations between the Afghan allies. Turkey has carried out a widespread purge since the failed coup, detaining tens of thousands of people it accuses of having links to Gulen, including several non-diplomatic U.S. citizens. NASA physicist Serkan Goljan and American pastor Andrew Brunson are among them. In February, another U.S. consular staff member, Hamza Yoliuk, was arrested over alleged links to the Kurdistan Workers' Party (PKK), which both Turkey and the U.S. consider a terrorist organization. Yoliuk, a translator, was released and then rearrested in March. CNN's Aysel Sarayus contributed reporting.